moving. Next slide. Okay, so let us take the one by one. I don't want to go for this introduction because of already my colleague, they given the introduction about this, everything. And also maybe you got the definition of disaster also. I think there is only one word, the disaster is a naturally, the entire the area of this. Hello. So that is a natural or human cost, or it may be a serious issues, problems to kill within a few minutes of the area. The entire the portion should be as to destroyed by the calamities of a disasters. Now disasters they have a broadly classified is the major two. One is the natural disaster ND, we call it as a ND, and also man-made disaster MMD. So this is the terminology suppose has to come to dealing with the science of the subject of disaster management. Now we can go for the NDA classifications. We have a meteorological disaster management, topographical the problems occur in the natures, and also we are going to discuss about the environmental related national disaster also. And come across in this too, you can go to the MMD, is a technologically from today, the lot of the technology using from this to industrials wise, or it may be anything else weapon wise. And also they have a industrial effluents discharging, they kill the entire environmental. Is also one of the comes in the man-made disaster. We'll have to go for another few minutes, we'll discuss about this. Then we have to go to the last one is the warfares. They have a between the two countries. Then we have to go for these two natural disaster. There are so many sub-classification is there. So from the first slide itself, they have concentrated only for this to flood today. That is a meteorological disaster come across to the flood managements. Now, when there in this flood occurs, everyone knows the floods immediately they occur in this. We are seeing from the surface or this to anywhere in this. It may be very huge perennial waters. Perennial means all the seasons they have seen from the water from the canal or the channel. But in the flood, if it is occur in the areas, any road or it may be any human settlements on the population or it may be demography of the areas to continuously the waters are huge flow of waters. It is killed from this to surface water also. Some of the natural information, whatever is there, that is also. And these all the things, the too much of rainy continuously 1 hour or 48 hours, 3 days, more days, number of areas. Even a more number of precipitation. The precipitation is nothing but the various kinds of precipitation we have. One of the among these days, the rain also is the best now. So there's a huge rain is supposed to has to fall in the natures. Then you've got a lot of the problem affected. We cannot expecting if a rain is supposed to has to fall in the nature, the water should be has to go for through our drainage system, canal systems are man-made. Any creativity is there. Usually the water has to go. If you're not expecting that much of rain, you are supposed to has to fall there. The water has gone to the overall entire area and covered with this. And another one is this, you can see these heavy precipitations comes in the tides, or it may be hailstone, that is a halikal, Kannada, halikal rainy. So that is the one of this, if you have a fall in this to hailstone rainy, there are a lot of disaster happens in this to area also. Now we can have to one word from this to give the definition of the flood. It's a natural occurrences from these to anywhere in these places. And also sometimes you cannot predict it. Even the meteorological department, suppose we has to, before rainy, they have to give the information, yes, another 24 hours, 48 hours, you get a rainy. So if a rainy, maybe the cross these so and so places. So they have given a directions from the all over the area also. So because such kind of information given by the from the meteorological department, print media, news media, or it may be any sources supposed to has to given to the paper or informed to this to particular area. The people should not go far away, or it may be keeping from that away from the places. This is a message supposed to have received from the flood causes. Now, then when had to go for this to the history of the flood. So before you had to go for this to flood, you know. So wherever this the major causes happens, and before you had to go the introduction the subject of the disaster process. So history of the flood in say 1943, it is in I'm giving an example only from this to India. So what is the first flood? People are there, create the awareness, and people are supposed to go for the study in the science of this disaster. One of the major parameter of the flood in 1943, in the October, Chennai, the city is the more than 6 days continuously, the precipitation huge occurs. And even on the day itself, they are not get any meteorological information. So the science was not advanced on the day itself. So much of satellite-based satellite-based information also we have found from today itself. So on the day at times, it completely the city of the Chennai is a more than 70 to 80% are destructions happens. So you can go to 1979, the another part of the Gujarat from the Rajkot area also. So lot of property was within the span of hours, this will be collapsed. And more than the 20 to 35 people of the area may be missing, and maybe they had collapsed his life also. So another the history of, if I had to go to the flood in 1987, the Bihar also. So most of the city, entire areas, and the agriculture's based structures, land use, land cover structures destroyed, and completely urbanization is completely has to gone within this the 2 hours of this the journey of the precipitations. So that is also one of the histories we have seen. So the question arises from sometimes maybe they asked some students itself or it may friend itself, can you cause from the flood? It may be man-made or it may be natural also. So this is the question. Sometimes maybe discussion among us. See, the flood may be causes, maybe man-made floods, or it may be in the natural, or it may be meteorological man-made. Now today, see, urbanizations, I think the one had to go for the development of this new layout, for example. If you take one particular villages, you can take this 10 years ago, our population is maybe one example I given one villages. So during that villages in the 10 years ago, so when the rainfall supposed has to fall there immediately, the rain was fall in the villages, the water supposed to has infiltration. By this time, the only soiled road, today the concreted. See, when the precipitation occur, the precipitation rainy water should be as to percolation influence reach the ground. That is the one cause happens in this earlier days. Now today itself, almost all the city may be covered with this, the best concrete, well facilities, and drains, canals, and the encroachment also. Earlier, the water should be has to go to the logging water. Now today, the people supposed to has to go for maybe encroachment also from the village to village boundary. Government land will be encroached. And see, during the kind of the precipitation supposed to fall on the village itself, because in earlier people, they have elder people supposed to know that this is the line for the rainy water line. The rainwater should be has to reach the village. So every village in the earlier days, we have a pond, we call it as a kere, or it may be perennial pond, perennial stream, perennial channel, perennial structures. That is the cases we have seen in earlier days. Today, almost all the structures are maybe covered with the settlements, human urbanizations and entire. Now the chances was when during the such kind of this way rain is supposed to has to fall on the areas, then the water should be has to gone. No, the water instead of gone to recharge the pond or stream or anywhere, the structure was missing. Then the water gone to the anywhere in the any circumstance also. Then this whatever this agriculture and or it may be our own properties or it may be any land structure immediately may be destroyed within the span of hours. So therefore, man rule also lot of the process will be taking place, and they have to kill this the natural calamities, and also they are not expected during the rainy season. The water line should be has to go for this. Urbanization has to go for the improve, but the only thing is they never bother about the kind of precipitation supposed has to fall. The precipitation of rain should be has to reach in the one linking system was missing. So heavy raining, the rain should be has to link with the pond to pond, stream to stream, channel to channel. The water should be has to properly connected system was there drawn. Then there is no any problems from the waters. Now the human activities we have discussions now. So most of these areas when the agriculture supposed to has to go there. So a lot of vegetations. I think those are the teachers from the botanies. they have a lot of tree species also missing. If you have urbanization is continuously there, if you have any species supposed to has to come across in the land, they have cut it and build any other sources also. So encroaching that I already discussing. Our also cluster, we have a cluster maybe overgazing, no space, no structures, only little bit of this the land should be has to cover. So the overcrowding that is also we have. So we have another one important, the mining areas. It can be if you go to geological point of view, nearby any mining explorations, the minerals are noticed, or it may be any quarries are there, or any structure supposed to has to form from the exploration of the rock systems was there. The very precious stones are available immediately. So people are supposed to has to purchase the land or taking the lease of the land. And also they have a natural resource management also killing. So mining, normally we had seen the mining, open cast minings, or it maybe can see the pit. So a lot of the structures will be removed by the private agency taken from the permission of mining, illegal mining started also. That's all. So build or also we have to the earlier structure of the shelter of house now today is a modernizations. So when they had to modernizations of the structure, suppose we has to go for the purchasing land or anyway the site development now. So we can watch there. So because we cannot expect it now itself, maybe in the future itself, any labor supposed to has to take in any purchasing of land for this to construction of a house. So you had to think, the thinking is this site belongs to any earth-prone areas, earth-prone any seismic zones areas, or it may be maybe during this time of heavy rainy, the water should be has to come in my side, or the water was lagging, or the storing, or it may be the pedology, soil condition is a good one or not. So that all these things should be has to carefully studied. Then I have to go for the purchasing of the any site. Then you can start from the building now. From the building itself, any this natural calamities may occur in the future, or it may be any randomly problems are there. Then you can look after. Now, and also we have seen that forest fires, naturally forest fires from the firing destroyed, and the lot of urbanizations, overcrowded, demography is increasing. So they covered with the land spaces also. Now see this one in this picture. So the picture number one, see this in these pictures now, lot of the precipitation is small, evergreen, green is there, little bit of urbanization structure is there. They happily they grow. Then you can see the images of the second one now. Most of the greenery was missing. Instead of greenery, we have cutting all the forest now. Now people are supposed to take in from this to business. Then you can go for the picture number 3. See this, almost all these the land source may be empty. During the rainy season, water supposed has to fall in the peak and the mountain area or any top of the area. Naturally, always waters are flow from higher elevation to the lower elevation. Through all these zones we have found there, then the water supposed has to gone and kill the natural disasters. So based on this 3 detailed information, so we have to, one most important, every teacher should be asked to weather. So one software was there from the, you can also download from your software, Windy. The name of the software is called as a Windy, W-I-N-D-Y. So the freely downloaded from your mobile. So when there your area, for example, suppose you have to sand your area, you are working in the different parts of the area. So you can some of the Mysore, some of the Kankapura, Mandya, or different parts of the area. That is the software you can open and press it. From their places, what is the today temperature, pressure, humidity, wind velocity, and what is the condition of the weather forecasting, if it is rainy has come or not, and what is the rainy, it is maybe expected, if it rainy has come, and the time scheduled also they mention. So this is the software they given by meteorological department. So the department has given the windy software, windy software. The software is supposed to give the long and detailed information about the meteorological parameters. So this is the information supposed to geographer, environmental science, botany students supposed to, or general, suppose your kid or it may be any person supposed to has to know, you are traveling sometimes. You are traveling calendar events during the rainy season. So by this time, the software should be as to useful about this, the rainy, and what kind of precipitation suppose. They have a lot of classification of precipitation is there, and whether this rainy or mist or snow or sleet or glacial water, dewdrops of water, mist waters, foggy water. This is all the detailed information as given by the same way. The meteorological department also, they given a most important before any kind of flood happened. Tomorrow, suppose we has to the area of the cyclone supposed to have to reach in the place, winds are flow. By this time, any person supposed to has to know then what is happened in this border wise, in the village wise. So that is the condition also they given by the situations. One another importance from the if you have a heavy rain is supposed to has to fall, or the flood is supposed to has to fall in the any places. The most important, all the water should be has to start from infiltration, reach the ground. See, wherever the unexpected rain is supposed to has to fall there, no, the water should be has to properly alignment, properly they are given a pavement, channel was there. Then almost water supposed to has to gone to link with your carry, your pond, your stream or channel or river system was there, directly link. If you're not there, the water should be has to logging in the road system or any field itself. From the field itself, the area having a loose rock structure was there. If a rock, I think you've seen, you can see the soil also. The soil porous zone, the soil porosity zone, the soil crevices zone, the soil joint zone was there. Immediately, waters are start from percolation, infiltration. That is we call as a vertical distribution of waters are flow. So there are three horizons in our system. One is this, the first zone of aeration zone, water table zone, zone of saturation zone. This is the three zones we are seeing from the everywhere. So during the any kind of flood, suppose we has to infiltration reach the ground. By this time, the rock type rule was very, very important. I think you have heard about igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. So igneous rocks is a very hard rock. So wherever the igneous provinces, igneous topography, igneous area, so water is percolation may be less. Whereas a sedimentary rocks, it may be number of cracks are there, fissure was there, joints are there, easily waters are percolation, infiltration, there is a ground. Whereas metamorphic horizon also, metamorphic provinces also, there are some little bit porous zone, crack zone, the water maybe definitely has to go to infiltration. So what is all this thing? It means at least some of the 20-30% of overflow of the water may reach our groundwater, and wherever the bore wells are there, open wells are there, or any dug wells are there, failure bore wells also may be possibility the reach of the water. After the flood will be stopped, then the failure bore wells also we got the water. So that is the policy we have seen from this. So that's why one other important the story we have, geomorphology, morphology of the boundary, morphology of the land, rule also, that is also most important. So when I am talking about this, the structures of the floods occur, these are all these parameters supposed to be have to study. Now, whenever they supposed to have to give the much more information to our student. So before time, because when I had to go for the study of the flood itself, by this time you should be known about the theoretically. The theoretical information should be asked to go for the study from the flood wherever occur. By this time, we can see the meteorological information, the area of this climate, what is the condition of the climate, what is this, the boundary of this, the topography, geomorphology of the area, and what is the amount of rainfall, because the rainfall amount is given by the rain gauge station. Okay, for example, you want to see the rain gauge station details about the Mysore. So meteorological department, Pune, they have a central groundwater board, state groundwater board. They monitoring the rain gauge station everywhere. Suppose we had to need what is the rainfall occurred in the adjacent city or local, or it may be today. Suppose it has to rain so occurred your area. So we don't know this where is the rain gauge station. Suppose students suppose ask there where how much rain is supposed to millimeter or centimeter. So by this time you are going to this to the district collector office. The district collector office install the rain gauge station in everywhere. The controlled by the government of Karnataka. So government rain gauge stations we have. So we have a district statistics office in every district. So today, temperature, pressure, humidity, all the parameters they are given by this to the rain gauge installation of the various instrument. And anemometer, I think you have heard about this. Also, we have get this the direction of wind flow, temperature, pressure, humidity, and when it is on site and when it is on set, that all the information also given by meteorological department. So when this flood happened, before the flood, supposed to has to given a clue given by satellite-based information also on the area of the scientist supposed to alert. From the alert by this time, they are given a ready to the detailed information of the boundary and also most important study of soil rule, soil condition rule also most important. Friends, you know the pedological story, soil conditions. Some of the soils are weaker, some of the soils are maybe harder, some of the partially weak, some of the partially hard. But whatever the soils are there, we want to know about this porous porosity. The soil have a number of crevices, joints are there, fissure voids are there, number of air crack was there. Most of this, we are all friends supposed to take the soil from our hometown, or it may be land itself, or agricultural land. We can test it from this to soils department, whether the soils were suitable for agriculture, suitable for anything else. Same time, the soil permeability, soil porosity is also most important. Why this all this saying? So during this, any kind of, for example, morning mist water, snow water, ice water, glacial water, sleet water, so dewdrop water, suppose it has to fall in the soil itself. All the amount should be has to stored by thin layer of the soils. Then the water should be percolation, infiltration, reach the ground. So therefore, every part of the villages, wherever the condition of the soil condition is the most important for the studies. Now, if you have the story when the floods occurs, we are all responsibility already because when this we are cutting frequently from the trees, then ultimately we plan for going for the urbanization, plan for construction of any buildings, or it may be if a plant supposed to has to age wise maybe fall down, our duty should be as to resampling one. Once again, resampling is most important. So today, wherever these forest areas, the forest percentages day by day decreasing because of the human interference and cutting a forest. Now, from according to one recent investigation, as per my concerns, so distributions of the floods in India. So before suppose he has to go for the study, any person suppose he has to do from PhD, or it may be if a lack of knowledge, if you want to in literature from this, or it may be sometimes you deliver the subject in your own students by this time. So today itself in India, commonly floods are happened, regularly floods are happened. And what is the reason, particularly on the patches of floods are affected? And most of this, the populations are, it may be geographically, geologically, environmentally, or it may be solidarically. There's a lot of problems are happened. So that is the cases supposed to we have to study it now. We have to take the geographical information of the boundary. Geographical atlas map, they're available. And wherever the already disaster happened in the frequently, any river, they causes. So therefore, we have to take any basin or watershed area. So, or it may be any river supposed to has to create a during the rainy season, the water supposed to fall on the particular river, the water should be has to flow which direction, and where is the government supposed to take care about all this thing. So that is also we have to think about this. Now, according to this to meteorological department, from the study of this, any map should be already they prepared in the flood map also, flood zonation map, flood affected map, prediction using it. Today we have seen the softwares from the geographical information system. That is the one the biggest the chapters, biggest sources, remote sensing and GIS. That is one of the recent tool. We had to do lot of information about the work with this zonation map. So every zonation map today, I think the geographer student, geographer teacher, they know they have one of the mandatory subject of GIS in the remote sensing and environmental science also they study, geography students also they study. So we had to give these to syllabus to more awareness because the most of the students coming in the village background or let me see about this. These are the one of the natural disasters happens in this. So the students is a bright knowledge and has to frequently tell to the parents, tell to the farmers. These are all the problems happen continuously. Say one season, suppose the flood happen. If the next season, suppose may or may not be there come there, how we are ready to face the problem, how do we have to alert that all these things should be as to they take care about this. Now, when these floods happens, they mainly the causes of what is the intensity of the raining. Now, normally, I don't know how many of them they have seen a rainy. During the rainy hours, most of them we are there sitting in these safety places. But as a scientist, we see watch the raindrops. Rainy frequently fall. From this to the New Zealand geologist or meteorologist, they had to take the raindrops, size of the raindrops also they had go to measures. See, normally everyone knows rainy was falling. So rain is maybe inclinations or it may be vertically or any directions, maybe everyone knows. But rainy drops also we have to calculate the size of the pallet, the size of the raindrops also we have to calculate it, and how the force of the water supposed to frequently fall or maybe moderately, or it may be gapping of rainfall. Suppose 1 hour rainy, 1 hour rest. So again we start another 1 hour. So that is the calculation also before you have to go to the estimation of on the area of the flood before that, after that. So that is called as rainfall intensity also we are going to calculate. That's we have a formula also we have according to these two calculations. So, and we had to ready with this from the civil engineer, start from civil engineer, hydraulics engineer also. So whenever this rainy season frequently occur, so we had to ready the rain water should be as to reach from nearby. Any dams are there, reservoirs there. So that's why from this to the central government, they had to recommend an interlinking system of river to river. So in the explains, suppose as to heavy rainy, the water should be linked in the next reservoir. So interlinking system policy is the most important for the sharing of water to one ponds to ponds, one reservoirs to reservoir, one dams to dams. Any man-made structure supposed to you had to create it, the water should be has to go to recharge and to store there. So that is the policy should be has to go there. Now from this to you can go to this to work in the future. Suppose it has to go for the flood in Karnataka. So when they had to go with the flood in Karnataka in the frequently past 10 years, 20 years, suppose he has to go for the study now. Interesting. For example, and by this time, so Karnataka, from the Karnataka totally, what are the rivers are there? What is the condition of rivers? From the in the heavy rainy, that water where has gone, where has reached. So that we had to go for study geomorphology. This is the biggest chapter in the morphological studies, drainage system, moving of all the streams order. That is the one of the best information also there. Now, from this to in the Karnataka, there are so many rivers are flow. Start from Krishna River, or Alaprabha, Bhima rivers, so Kaveri River, Simsa River, Arthavati, and also come in the Tamil Nadu Palar system. So Bhavani River. So when is the origin somewhere and discharging somewhere? So when the origin point to flow of water, what are these districts are covered? What are the states are covered? Across the river system, what are the population and what is the settlement is there geographically, environmentally, geologically, that all the detailed information supposed to be should be known because we had to go for the studies. So during some of the recent floods happens, I think some information I given now. So after this flood happened, we have taken the aerial photographs informations from Chennai itself or this wherever in Bombay or it may be in Calcutta or in the Delhi. So there, then the water was huge waters lacking more than number of days. Because some areas, see the channel was this. So this is the channel now. See earlier days, we have the water line, we call it as a water line. So some of these heavy rain is supposed to has to go, they have a meant for this pavement should be has to go for all the rainy water line, rainy water now. See, across the boundary, look at the figure, across the boundary of the line, across the movement of the rain, so much of urbanization, so much of the shelter has come, building is come. So once is the site supposed to encroach by the public, maybe knowingly, unknowingly, some of the people supposed to has to go for, they acquire the land. So then the government should be has to take care about this line should be meant one only from the river water flow. Now, after the same figures, they see this, they have a channel now. So across we have made a concrete now. So concrete should be as to very good quality. If a water was in the large water has to come from the above the concrete, some of the overflow also, flood water also they come across in the above this. And see the some of the city also they have a flood. See earlier the channel is a small, earlier is a bigger. So if a government supposed to has to not take care about this every day, the channel condition will become in the less and lot of areas. Now some agriculture background I'm telling about is a flood supposed to has happens. See, some of this we have to care about this controlling of flood waters. Take any sand water, sands, or any waste disposal away from this maybe soil and put into this to the erosion places. Then avoid the moving of the water conditions. Now, from this to some of this Osur road, recently I taken a photograph from the Chennai floods happens now. See, most of the people suppose not expecting the night itself, water was lagging more than number of hours. The people supposed not come, then the swearing authority has to come, they save the land also. Then the same water supposed to has to move from the wherever the agriculture land and entire area, they cover with the water, then destruction of the human settlement also. See, some of the huge water lagging, the logging of water maybe kill the fresh water, recharge beneath the bottom of groundwater also. But this water is quality wise, you can test the quality testing, the water is not suitable. But this water supposed to as a percolation influence reach the ground of the water table. The same water supposed to taken from the bore well or any pumping of the well from the beneath the bottom of water, that is the water is not suitable drinking. So wherever the logging was taking place, continuously logging water was there, adjacent borewell is condition is completely maybe waterborne diseases, water quality may be definitely we have facing a lot of problem. So therefore, what to do? We have to take the sample analysis before you're taking a drinking water. So agriculture is no problem, industrial taking no problem, particularly when you're taking a drinking purpose, by this time should be has to take care. Now we cannot expecting huge amount water supposed to collect them from the pond or stream or the kere. So the capacities may be limited, then this water mass may be removing or moving from this. Now, when I had to take a aerial photographs, see the government supposed to has to come before sanction, the concerned government asking, see that all the problems happen, so we need of crores to solve this crisis. By this time, the meteorological disaster management officers, they watch this, what is the percentage of floods are happened, what is the land was missing, how much they supposed to has to give. By this time, they based on the work. Now, recently, they have already mentioned web-based programs. Windy, for example, meteorological department, they have to launch the details about this in the online or the internet about the meteorological information. The concerned farmers, suppose if they have alert, they tell the media, tell the news channel, this is the places, maybe cyclone, another few minutes, the wind supposed has to come there. Maybe cyclonic definitely has to come there. Lot of problems happen. So therefore, you have to aware that. See, some of them people doesn't know they are in illiteracy, or it may be the person supposed to not know that much more information science. You can also any person supposed to know there. So web-based information also one of the software supposed to has to come there. So when there is a flood happen, lot of the problems they may be created. So buildings will be collapses. And also one of these maybe you had to see tsunami. See another also major causes recently natural disaster. That is also ma'am. And some of the area, another drawbacks, no, some of the areas, a lot of water they fall and logging of water they have. But adjacent area, no, they are facing a lot of problem from the waters. See, the nature was calamities out there. Some of the areas are good water, some of the areas not getting water. People are moving from place to place. That is a drought-prone areas also we had to see there. So some of the in the road itself, we cannot move from this lot of hailstone water, particularly they fall in the nature itself or in the logging in the waters. The crystal supposed to has to burning without the temperatures or the sunlight. All the crystals as it is in the road itself. Most of this the agricultural land destroyed by the hailstone, rainy. There is also one way. And some of this, the flood happened in this recently in the Arunachal Pradesh, Orissa, Assam, Himachal Pradesh. So most of the area of the people not getting any food, not getting anything else. That also we have. So the school bus also the lagging, and most of the roads were lagging because they're moving from this to metropolitan city in the Mumbai. If the water was lagging, may not be have to go there because of this major problem. So some of the railway road, railway bridges, railway area also collapsed by the road system. That is also one. And the last years, the Bagalkote floods maps taken by the aerial photographs. So how this percentage of the water was gunning and linking and destroyed by the human natures. Then you can get the Raichur town also, adjacent areas, the downstream area, the photographs of floods have happened. Then you can go to Dharwad district also, when the flood supposed to has to happen. So how they destroyed the nature, the wasting of water, that is also one. So after this, after the disaster team supposed to has to go for, they made a survey. So the survey is most important. They had to estimate the cost and budget. They give the report to the government. So what are these roads are restricted, and the concerned officer should be has to look after they gone there. Now we can go to this the logging of water more than number of days. If they have a log, the water should be has to not gone, not to any other parallel has to move there. No, that way the people suppose I take care awareness. The water may be lagging number of days. We have to start from percolation. If it reach the ground, then you have to then this you have buildings. The buildings maybe not capacity wise, not quantity wise, the quality wise. Maybe earlier buildings, maybe number of 70 years ago, 80 years ago, number of years ago, the old house during this heavy rain is supposed to has to fall. Definitely they have distraction. And also recently, last few years ago, the Madikeri, they have a landslide occurs. Here because of the heavy raining, most of the persons supposed to has to burial with this. Some of the persons supposed to they know about this our area is problematic, but they have think about we have stay more than number of years. We are not going. We are stay there. Their violation. The government should be has to inform. This is the problem. Definitely has to come. You at least you have to come. They stay there. But some of these members, they violation the rules and regulations. They have policy. They think of no worry. They have there in the number. But recently, they killed more number of persons in the Madikeri last few years ago. I think maybe we have seen in this print media, and sudden collapse of the buildings. Then they destroy the nature also. See, soil erosions due to every kind of precipitation or the flood water there occur. And see this, they have the burial, we call it as a paleo channel. We call it as a terminology in geology or geography, paleo channel, or it may be valley portion, valley region. So valley regions should not be construct the house. Look at this, they have upper, these two figures, see the figure now, adjacent area is upper is there. From the center one is the valley. So this valley during this rainy water supposed to come the valley area. So urbanization in this settlement is there. So definitely 100% may be affected. See, if a huge rainy precipitations may be destroyed entire things, the building structures or it may be. And see, look at these structures, landslides occur due to heavy precipitations. Heavy floods supposed to occur and kill the subsurface of the geology. Maybe last 4 years ago, you can see these two in from the northern India portion, huge floods supposed to has to fall, buildings are collapsed, okay. Most of these areas, they have, people are missing, washed away, they have not seen from these two missing cases, we have seen that. So that is also we have recorded. See, look at this. See, first figures, if you have a we are not expected if a suddenly tsunami. See, another we cannot tell any person now today. If anyway supposed to the eruption from the center of the ocean, or it may be definitely waters are coming in the and directly entering in this to area, they have a lot of problem. And after the tsunami, or it may be any flood supposed to has, then come in the control or the common now. Then you can go to the places of how much percentage of floods are occur. Then we can also see that, then we can see the estimation process policy also we have seen there. Now, these are all these places floods already affected. So when the flood is going on, what are the process? When after that, what happened? How the killing of the entire discharge within the few hours, we have to see there. Now, from the meteorological departments, the predictions through the sensor, satellite-based sensor. So they know the wind velocities through the intensity of this wind flow per hours. winds are mostly per hour 300, 4 hour, 1200 per kilowatts per hour. The winds are flow. So normally we are the friend supposed to associate the cloud now. Clouds are there in this. The clouds supposed to in the top of the wind. Clouds are moving very fastly along with the carrying of our wind also. Somewhere meet together and destroyed and meet burning. Definitely the water was fall there. So we have a meteorological department. They estimated where the winds are flow, where they expected may the rain is supposed to has to fall. Definitely they have given from this to they have a software. So windy software of the satellite based information. See how much they have winds are flow, how much the ocean supposed to, the water supposed to maybe, or maybe where is the epicenter of this, where is the center point of the cyclone. So that all these things information today we are seeing through the study meteorological sources. Now up to this mark, so we have came to know about this, the floods. Now they have a lot of classification in the flood also, classifications of the floods. So they have a flash floods, number one. Number two, river floods. Number three, coastal floods. Number five, urban floods. So among all these things, these are the very three common floods in the natures. Today we are seeing that. So coastal floods, number one. Number two, river floods. Number three, flash floods. Let us see one by one now. Coastal floods. Now, normally from the coastal areas, somewhere immediately in the center of any other portions, maybe midpoint or the any other corners, the immediately the water supposed to has to come across. See, in the night time, people are doesn't know, they not watch the warning signal. Today, the government of India, they fix a alarm now, alarming from the expected. Some of the oceanographers, meteorological department together, and also civil engineer together, they have put a warning signal, ambulance warning signals. So when these floods happens, flood supposed to has to come, made the number somewhere in the 2 kilometer away. So flood has come within a few minutes, they reach the so and so. By this time, the people should be asked to take care about immediately gone to the very good places. They are alarming. They are signals and sound signals supposed to has to come. So this is this at least to protect this save the life of environment as well as the life of human beings. So by this time, the coastal area one, they have the suddenly eruptions, suddenly they have come, and the what are the types of cyclones supposed to has come, hours basis, and what affected, and where they are moving, and which places they may be ending. Entire details should be studied by the meteorological department. But the zonation map also they predicted. Moving of the flood also they have. So this is the one of the major coastal areas. So from this, any storms, very huge hurricane, particularly in the typhoons, the hurricanes, this is the longest, biggest cyclones that happens in this. Definitely there are a lot of problems. So they have rotated among us, they create a wind among the center, they create the warm tides. Tides will be more. So when the center will be there, the tides of the water may be very high. So normally everyone knows full moon day, high intensity is the fall. So the gravity will be more, intensity is more, tides will be very large. So in the same cases, the any cyclones, particularly in the tropical areas, cyclone, the name of the cyclone, the hurricanes or the typhoon, if it is a very high, it may be lot of the problems in these areas. Now another, the second type of the flood was is called as river floods. Now everyone knows perennial floods, flood are this. This is the rivers are flow. So the river start from origin to end, connected by the ocean, everyone knows. So when this river across the boundary, river erosions, rivers are enter, rivers are moving because the tributaries, streams tributaries, canal tributaries, channel tributaries. So today, earlier days, so when these people supposed to know today itself, the water should be has to give to the person to person, the sharing water. So earlier days, we cannot take any river better, we get a lot of precipitation, suppose has to fall, we get a no problem in the past 70 years, 50 years here. Now today, we dependent on this precipitation, we dependent on the same water supposed to has to go through the river water should be has to go across storage, the dam. or reservoir. So we are going to construct it now because store the water capacity, we are taking drinking or irrigation and domestic purpose. So by this time, we have to see which is the best line for taking a river water. We are constructing a new one now. That should be a take care about civil engineer. If a civil engineer policy will be violations, during the heavy rain is supposed to has to come in through the river should be has to go. By this time, geography, geology, physiology, geomorphology role is most important. So by this time, if a rainy water supposed to fall from through the river capacity, river alignment, river channel, river barricade, river apartment, river storage of anything else should be has to properly take care about by the civil engineers. So if you not bother about all these things, definitely lot of problems. So another one, when the construction of the dam or reservoir on any catchment of the waters, or watershed management programs. Suppose we have to initiate it now. Sometimes maybe you are not properly take care about the quality and quantity wise. And the instructions, building construction should be as to most important. If sometimes maybe dams are failure. Now recently, maybe last year, you might have seen that KRS dam, for example, in Karnataka, Mysore KRS dam. Across the KRS dam, lot of mining activities going on. If a mining activity, sometimes maybe excavation of the structure of any materials now, sometimes maybe suppose you has to take in a blasting technology. Now today, night time, maybe they have illegally, they not taken a permission, government should be asked to go, not going to the blasting capacity. No, if people, they have some of the people supposed to, they are very close to government. If a person supposed to ask, they should not go for the blastings now. If a blasting fellow has to appeal, go to this, some problems are there, definitely. So when the blasting supposed to nearby dams, definitely that is the shear zone, that is the zones we have, create the channel, create the cracks. When the blasting technology, the blasting force of the shear wave, propagation waves, they will reach the nearby dam. So cracks are developed, fissures are developed, joints are developed. Maybe if a force of blasting is a high intensity, definitely the waves are near to enter. If a hard rock nearby, maybe at least 20-30% may be affected. If a loose rock was there, if a rock having a fracture was there, 100% definitely the wave will be reached underneath, maybe dams, maybe problem. So because this is the information the government also knows, the mining authority also knows, but because some of these sources may indirectly or directly may have to give the chances to work there, definitely, and the sources will be problems. Now, last one, flash floods. So the flash floods may not be give any prediction immediately raining. For example, I'll tell you a story. So there are the two villages. One villages, we expected rainy. Another adjacent village may not be, we cannot give any direction. See, the meteorological department, they are given information to this area, having a lot of rain is supposed has to fall. They are given information to public also. Fortunately, that is the rain supposed to fall on the area. Instead of taking all the clouds are falling adjacent areas. So the government should be asked to tell this is the area, across the area, maybe definitely they have a problem. But sometimes where the rain is supposed to has to fall, the rain instead of not fall there, the taking a rainy water from the across nearby villages, by this time, winds, velocity, they supported, carrying all the rainy drops fall in the adjacent area. So sudden rainy, quick rain is supposed to has to fall there, or it may be in the area, then a lot of problem. So this is the flash floods, sudden rainy, quick responsibly, without telling anything else, sudden rainy happened. See, another one, as per the meteorological department, they mentioned this is the rainy, this is the place, this is the event. So from the 12 months of this calendar event, they have given him when is the monsoon, when is this the drought, when is the temperature. We have seen that. But sudden rainy, you cannot expect the non-rainy season. Rainy was occur now. This is a nature gift, everyone. So we have to destroy everything. So sudden rain is supposed to has to fall there. No, we cannot alert. For example, today temperature 45, for example, so immediately rainy was fall there. So we are thinking about rainy season was not there, rainy was occur now. So cropping is lost, agriculture style is lost, human whatever they depend on, everything is lost. So that is also one of the kind we have seen that. So from the flash floods, we are not taken about this immediately. The water should be has to move from everywhere. So another one we can take this to in the snow melt, melting of snow, like glacial water, ice water. Suddenly the water should be has to enter. Now recently I have seen that last year some the Kerala floods, Kerala area, lot of floods have happened. So every person supposed to missing more than number of 1,000 to 2,000 people are collapsed his life, missing, properties lost, and so many, some of these students, major their documents, they have seen that everything from there in this area. Now, when this, the most important for everyone, so when the construction of, because everyone, we had a house, supposed to, we have to go for the new house or new structure supposed to, or anything else house, you have to go the planning for the construction of new house, friend, you had to policy make, because when they are going to construction of house, person supposed to meet the civil engineer. You will take a drawings of this one. Second one, as per the drawings, you are okay. We are started one, but we did the mistake. Before start the any building structures or anywhere purchasing agriculture land, please go for testing of soil first. See, most of them they are ignore this all these rules and regulations. Why? The first should be has to go for testing of soil. The soil is suitable for which is the crop. Some of the soils are not suitable for the crops. By this time, soil analysis is the most important rule. If a soil getting a what is the composition of calcium, magnesium, and potassium, that is the suitable for which is the crop. So based on that, that is the way we are going to construction of the various the site. And the same way, when I had to go for the constructions for the new house or the purchasing land, by this time, our land, I'm going to buy there the land was any problem or the seepage problem. Water line, I think, friend, it doesn't know. During the rainy, somewhere in the rainy water, suppose the percolation underneath of the waters of flow. For example, we had to go for this to removing in the, from these to debris, for the construction of 30, 40, within the 2 feet, 3 feet, you get a water, some of the area. See, what is this all this saying? It may be under the knee, subsurface water also, perennial water also, they come across. That is the area is not suitable for construction of house because of already water lines are there beneath the bottom. So therefore, any supposed you have to go for this taking a purchasing conduct of any building, you should be watch about this. Our land should be has to come across any damaging, geologically damaging, geographically damaging, future environmentally damaging, should be has to consider. Most of them, they are in a, never forget, we are educated, we are not bothered also. Same way, after few years, violation of all the norma, your building may be collapsed, your building may be cracks, your building may be not suitable up to the area. Sometimes you had to go for this to heavy rain, suppose it has to fall there, no? Sometimes your house should be seepages. Your house is very cool, miser. I've seen that many houses. Because of this, underneath, we have a water line. Most of these teachers, their violations, our area, our boundary, our topography, underneath, waters are coming. So therefore, if you have a required proper consultancy with the concerned scientists, we have to go there. Sir, we have only that site, we have depend on site, should we has to go there. Ultimately, we have to follow the procedures. Based on the procedure, we have to go for the construct the building with all these procedure given by the concerned scientist. That is the most important. So based on this information, we have to go there. Now come to this. Now we have to go for this, all the details. Suppose we have to discuss now, what are the causes now? See, we cannot control the causes. We cannot control the rainfall. It's a natural now. See, when this rainfall now today, now once upon a we are students, heavy rainfall in India, Agumbe, everyone knows, they tell Agumbe is the highest rainfall. Today go there, Agumbe is not getting a rainy fall. So rain is less everywhere. Because of this, we have a nature, we are entering the killing of nature. So we have seen the very good places. We go to temple, we have to do the nature, we go to waterfalls, everything. But we are not recommended by the sampling of the plant. My friend, I tell you, I'm our own student supposed to have to tell every day, who are the born day? See, my birthday is next day. We are going to take a temple and pray, so increase my age. So everything is basically like, instead of you tell to your student, whenever your birthday was there, you should be asked to purchasing one sampling of any plant. Maybe go for sampling in the field, because once you sampling, the fellow may be 100 years, 100 sample. If you have a fellow from the 40 years, you can fill there. So we have a address. We are students, we are address the, instead of cake cutting, instead of wasting money, you had to name of yours. You go to your village, you go to any government land, please make a plant sampling. So this is the message should be as to give your all responsibility. When the plant supposed to have to go for the sampling now, see, when the plant root system, they can't, they know during the time of precipitation, the water has gone, infiltration, root system penetrated beneath the bottom of the earth, now create the channel now. Water was sending beneath the bottom of water table. So therefore, at least to 10 to 20% of the open space, or it may be the area may be earlier cutting in the forest. So we had to tell to self-create awareness to this, to our village people, our parents, and tell to your farmers. That is the message should be as to most important. And also rainfall, because sometimes suppose we have don't know what is the rainfall today. We see in the newspaper, your front also, your house also, you can get the small funnel, from the funnel, glass funnel now, put into your front of house, marking 1 to centimeter, 1 to 10 or millimeter size. During the rainy season, put your door itself. Then when the rain was supposed to has to fall, or put in the terrace itself, no obstruction from the adjacent area. Now we are going to put into this area. When during the rainy season, we came to know that. See, we cannot see in the meteorological department what is the rainfall. Then then we can manually, we can know I'm installed the rain station manually as a glass beaker, marking 1 to 10 or 1 to millimeter or centimeter wise. After when the rain is started, you note down the time. When the rain is stopped, you see your beaker, how much percentage of water was storage now. So this is the exercise supposed to have to tell there. We came to know our village should be as to what is the frequency, what is the now. Same way, Government of India, they install the various kinds of types of railway station from all over these our places also. So those were from the geology department, mines and geology department, state government department, central government department, geographer, or who are these agriculture scientists supposed to have to know about this our precipitation now, known about the duration of rainy, what is the temperature, humidity, what is the frequency, everything now we should be asked to know for this the water. See, whatever the water supposed to has to fall, then we can the remedial measure and what are the problems are noticed. So that is also fine. So sometimes we had to go for snow melt. You can go to any hill stations or mountain area. So sudden snow melt, we cannot expect it. Because on the nature itself we have, that is also one. No, another one you can might have seen that the geographer students are known volcanoes eruptions. Volcano eruptions. See, volcanic eruptions, maybe lava, magmas, calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium composition as per this. With water also flow away. When the volcanic eruptions taking place, then this entire nearby area destroyed naturally. That is also one of the concepts supposed he has to go there. Now, storm surge, sudden cyclonic depression somewhere in these oceans. So they have mentioned adjacent country. Oh, that is the adjacent area, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal. One of these biggest cyclone has to come because all the information given by our meteorological department. They will come in the torture, they will come in the fall, they will come in this way. Please alert. Fishermen should not be go in the water. Don't catch the fish. They have given a signals in the coastal area. So this is the one of the storm surge without tell anyone, naturally created in the center of this and coming in the fall in the offshore and inshore and they destroyed within the few seconds. So that also we have to see that. Now failure of man-made textures. Today engineers should be as to because earlier day so Sir C.V. Vishweshwaraya knowledge now we have to build our KS dam. Now is there more than number of years. They have very huge structures are there. Today engineers, those who are sacrificed his life, sacrifice is a science, should be as to good structure, particularly in the water capacity, water logging, water storage structure. So when this building or this reservoir or the storage capacity of any water during the rainy season, So most of the roads, most of the buildings, most of the government, because they have a destroyed, because you want to more job in the next now after the floods happened, they're killing everything. No, again the same engineer should be rebuilt. No, now they have transaction money. See, there is a natural water, naturally, the economically losses. How many members of these engineers they have taken a oath? I am not taken anything else. I they properly done in the proper structure. So I'm not criticize this because the person should be asked to work in this appointed from the engineer. Engineer knowledge is most important. Engineer role is most important. If engineer has say maybe they again 100% may not be put into substance or material, only 20-30% remaining in the pocket. No, that is the engineer not appointed in the particularly in the construction of storage of water or reservoir, or the dam, or the hydropower, anything else. So this is the one reason engineer role was very, very important. If engineer is a money-made engineer, is there definitely have a destruction. If a engineer is authentic, we have to do from the future, definitely maybe solve these cases. Now, already see, because when you had to constructions, now building now, the failure possibilities also there. So that is also we have seen that. Now we have a some of the in the abroad now, they know once they have floods happens, once a flood happen, they have construct the barriers properly, structures properly. So we can't as a compound now. We can't as in our own house. We compound. Compound is our own way of prevention of no one supposed to has to come in the jumping in our house. But actually the way, actually the construction of the barrier of the structures, we call as a flood walls. So from the flood walls in the last previous record of the flood happened in the area, we had to go for the construction of the wall. Any adjacent coastal area or anywhere in the river area, the water should not be coming affected in this natural or it may be calamities. So the structure of the flood wall is most important. So when this flood may be, if we not take care about this, government also not take care about this, or any person supposed to only particular a politician fellow only bother about one particular villages, and maybe this village I'm not interested. Because if you have a sudden flood happen now, so people are immediately affected. Naturally, everyone knows. You are also seen. See, I seen that many floods area, suppose people are going to take a selfie photo. I am standing in this water. Some of the fellows supposed to give a food today now. We are giving the food, taking a photograph and shown to tomorrow of this news. What did they use all this thing? See, some of this, I seen that many of the persons supposed to donate the cloth, donate the food, donating anything money, they're taking their advantages. Oh, I'm a concerned this party, I sponsor it, I given it. What is the user? So finally, the government should be asked to come across and do the whatever the problems are there, what are the persons supposed to injuries, waterborne disease also they found from the taking water from during the flood happened. So most of this loss of life, homeless, destruction, immediately flood happened, no, electricity completely stopped. So that is also we have seen that. So when the electricity was stopped, people are maybe completely problem. People are never has to go to the place to play. People are asking about the food style. People are maybe some person supposed to has to depends on the medical treatment or medicine, or the person supposed to any pregnancy woman supposed to stay there. Is he or may not be gone to any other places because water was lagging. So this is also we have seen that. So energy, completely energy will be destruction, energy will be problem. So then this government should be asked to come forward immediately, and also the watershed management, and particularly some military operations supposed to has to come forwarded with helicopter lifting almost all. And we had to do particularly from the scientists supposed to has to prepare this, the flood alerting, flood mapping, and flood zonation. That is also one. And also government should be asked to investigate. See wherever the necessary, you can see that flood is coming in this area. What is the ultimate line in the future now? We have to go for this to planning properly. That is called as a investing properly. So that wherever the flood we want to there regularly. See this now, they have a permanent flood walls from this. This is the portion supposed to water has come. In the next season, the water should not become. Then we have to go for this construction of barrier. So permanent flood barrier structure should be has to go on there. If you have a amount was very temporary, or it may be embankment, man-made structure also we can create it. That is also one. So another one, if a flood water should be has to come in Accra, the water should be has to reach the channel, pond, canal, stream, that is also policy should be has to come across. Now, some of this area, see look at the figures now. They have a water line, water check pit. That is also one. Recharging pit. That is also one. And if any your area will be canal channel, we have to take the gate. The gate is maybe more than number of years old now. Sometimes the force of water enter in the gate also collapse. So by this time, you have to take care about all these things. So flood walls, most important, and also should be as to the flood controlled immediately. The government should be as to come across and take care what are the food styles supposed to has. Animals may be missing, animals should be has to take care about this, and person should be has to take. And the concerned scientist supposed to, we had to go to the estimate when the flood supposed to has to come. What is the flood supposed to has to come in this area? How the flood may be affected. So this all the proper the route is the most important than come across. Now then there are all these problems when the impact on this flood happen. I told you already. Home definitely destroyed by, property will be problem, road will be definitely a bus service. They completely stop there. And most important, whenever the flood supposed to happen, the water is unfit for the drinking. So from the geologically waterborne diseases, the groundwater quality is not good. So communication, because once the electricity power has gone, then you can telephone that person support receiving a signal also completely gone, electricity gone, socially increasing, pollution is increasing, that is also major problem. Now, another recently, we have seen that from this government should be has to already prepared flood zones map, wherever this prediction given by the future of this, that is also when, and what is the cost of this today we have facing, and also we have government should be has to given some of this to project to this to the scientists, Indian Institute of Scientists, and also the engineers. They have taken a project wherever they frequently flood happen, because in Talkaveri, Madikeri, they have a lot of landslide happen now. So they have given a project. From the project itself, the work, all the details of the stories. If you take any details of the stories, they work properly, and the government should be has to give all the facilities to these the person supposed to work there, and their lack of knowledge, coordination, chemistry, and together every scientist has to join together, work there, and definitely we have lot of problems should be has to solve. Now, these are all these the informations based on comes under to the flood related work only. Now, some of these flood also we have classification, everything is there. This is the much more information they have. If you tell there, you have maybe you are maybe boring, because already 110 is there. So these are all the more detailed information come to the project, and the doctorate degree supposed to has to do there. From the students supposed to they work with this all the information, and what are these precautions supposed to has to come in there. So that is the way we had to go for this. Now another one, because this is the most important from this, when the flood occurs, from the government of military has to come there and take care about this all this thing, food habit, food has given, and anything, the guidelines they have, hospitals management has to come, and the online programs should be has to come, shifting from one place to another places, and give the shelter. Okay, and rescue operations should be has to take care from the military, and give the more treatment friendly, and what are the immediately they have to come across. And if you have a government should be all the facilities to lifting of this relief center also they had to create it. Then immediately all the persons supposed to have to visit it through the airline survey. Airline survey, what is the amount? Because they are given an amount to know from this to know. They have survey. Based on the survey, we had to take care about this information. All the media, see the telemedia, everything is, they have given a much more information morning to evening. They have wide publicity, and person should be, they have a necessary a big problem, and the government should be has to take care. And I tell you, most of these missing cases, we have seen that some of the persons buried with, washed with, suspectedly we have identified the person, and relief camp any person was missing, they give the names to the government. And also you can any nearby school or college was there, you can go to the food shelter, you can give to this to from the some kind of helping from this to area. And any person supposed to has to suffering from any affected on this flood, you have to give this to more information to the help to the particular area. And any baby kids was there, newly born or it may be, they give this vaccine also, and also give the nutrition food from this to area and the shelter. These are all these medicines should be has to give supply by the government. And food style campus also, and avoid this any malaria, cholera, dengue immediately has to come from this plague, and the person should be has to care about this person. And because they have inside the house, you cannot be coming in the house. So by this time we had to we have. So then rescue operation is the most important from the places. And I'll tell you one major problems now. Whatever I seen that all the slides, I think might have seen everything. So that is a shelter camp. From the shelter camp, government should be asked to give all these the facility problems are there. These are all these another topic, management of the floods. This is a big topic that is not required. So this all the materials of the PPT I given to this director center here. After your program supposed to over, this is the PPT definitely given to the your CD they have provided. All the precipitation, all this they given. Now my humble request, normally my wherever suppose I given a lecture on this, given a messages. So we have the teacher, we have this the information about this, we voluntarily tell to the student campaign, NSS campus there, or NCC campus there, or any camp from the college itself. We create the self-awareness programs, tell their natural disaster management, World Environmental Day, World the Water Day. Okay, this is the day supposed to have to celebrate it from our college. Is the mandatory. If you have to go, the celebrated is there, then it is a best information to create the message, tell the message to this our student. So when this information supposed to be had to tell there, then is the most important. See this, the person supposed to has to their own created bumbo and communications, most important. If any lady, maybe a girl, maybe they have distracted during the flood time, rescue time, most of the misuse from the girl, from the person. So some of the person may be psychologically depression, his friend, his family member, his wife, his brother may be missing or died. Maybe his family member is psychologically depressed. So from the psychological department should be asked to go for and they have to study it in properly. That is also one. So another important thing is I seen that I have reported from the during the flood, the person should be has to kidnapping, and the person supposed to any person was there. This is the time you have to do all the aspect, killing, distraction, kidnapping, and anything else. They have to do this, the kind of also there. So that is this area. See, this is the message I see in that. So whenever the people supposed to has to go from the flood area, they've taken a selfie. Today is a common another kind of diseases. We have taken personally from the selfie from the area. At least please avoid this kind of the information, the field. Friend, at least have some information I brought to share with you, but I don't know the your how they are receiving. I don't know. So, but only thing is, this is the message should be reach this to every person. At least the candidate should be known about this. They have improved the knowledge and gain the knowledge, share to hand to communication to door to our friends, our farmers, our boundary, at least to avoid in the future of floods. May definitely we have to control it. This is the way. So I will come back to this to another one of the days on this, the day of the 15th and the Friday of the same time. We'll discuss about this one more topic of landslides. Okay. If anything else you can share me or maybe tell me, yeah, because time is already, my time is 1:15. You had to tell something, anything else, please.
Yes. Sir, may I?
Pradeep, please.
Yeah, sir, I just wanted to ask, in PPT, you have shared some information related to how to stop the flood, like
Hmm.
that flood walls and all. So just I wanted to ask, so tentatively, so what should be the height of that, that wall, so that we can, that will be a barrier for the flood?
Yes, yes, that is called as a check barrier. We call as a terminology of the civil engineer.
Yeah,
We call as
yeah,
a check barrier. For example, no, already now you get a lot of awareness, creativity was there in this during this flood supposed to has. In the past years, for the past 5 years, 6 years, what is the quantity of water has to move there? That is the barrier is satisfied or sufficient. Or
right,
in the future, supposed to has to water has come more amount, they have enhanced the 1 or 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. So that is the barrier should be is the good condition.
correct.
Okay. So
Yeah,
normally engineer supposed to is to only take care about this partially mentality was there, no? Only less quantity, or it may be very unfit for the quantity supposed to, but maybe sometimes what will be the barrier will be collapse also.
correct.
So the engineer rule was very important for the construction of barrier with the practical manual knowledge is most important.
Yes,
See, otherwise, what is the use of construction of barrier, no? So simply 1 year is passed away, 1 year is not, it should be maintenance properly. So that is the
correct.
line, that is the payment, that is the portion is the meant for flood water, definitely has to gone. So
Yeah,
we are all alert and adjacent areas should be has to tell because we are going to construction this way. Even now, sometimes heavy water has come across the area, move there now. Some problems are occur now. So
yeah,
we have to take care in the present and the future of water supposed to flow there. So that is the most important.
yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, any other friends? All our friends are line, I don't know. ಇದು display ಮಾಡಿ from friends lines. So any person, madam, anything else? Anything else?